All right, so it's just a quick video, on distractions. We talked about this a little bit in a video a few weeks ago about how to make the most of your time. Well, one of the ways to make the most of your time is to not give in to distractions and to avoid distractions. So I'm going to go over just a few tips and a few strategies to help you do this. So number one, I feel, is make your environment distraction free. Meaning if you need to get work done, if you have training, if you have something and you have distractions surrounding you, potential distractions like your phone, the internet, if you're trying to eat healthy and you're surrounded by junk food, then it's way more likely that you'll give in to those distractions. So the first tip is really stack the deck in your favor by not keeping the distractions around you. Now you can use things like Netflix and a movie or something as a reward, or when you're relaxing, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're watching 5 hours of Netflix a day, there's something wrong with that and you're gonna miss out on the things you need to get done. Second one is make a schedule and make a list and then stick with that schedule or list. This is the big one, because if you schedule out your day, you're much more likely to follow through. So for example, if you schedule a individual training session at 8 a.m. or whenever, you're way more likely to follow through if you've scheduled it out. If you just try and wing your day or your week and you don't have things planned, you're more likely to fall into distraction, because if you have nothing to do and you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing and you have no direction, it's a lot easier for you to go, you know what, I'll just watch some Netflix, or I'll just watch some YouTube, or I'll, go play some video games. It's a lot easier when you don't have a direction. So the big one is schedule your day. Even when you eat your meals, even when you have your training, you can even schedule in distractions. And what I mean by that is you can say, okay, as long as I get all my work done, I can watch an hour of Netflix at 8 to 9. Okay, that's perfectly fine, but now it's you controlling when you get to watch Netflix instead of the distraction controlling you, if that makes sense. Because if you're watching Netflix for 2 hours or an hour from 10 a.m. to 12, or 12, you're wasting a lot of great time where you could be getting stuff done. So that brings us to our final point, is recognize when you have energy and when you don't. Your willpower depletes as the day moves along, meaning if you do your most important stuff later in the day when you have less energy, you're going to be less likely to follow through on that stuff. So recognize when you have the most energy. For me, I have the most energy from the morning until a little bit in the afternoon. That's when I'm at my peak energy. So I do things like work out in that period. I do things like video creation stuff. I get my training in usually in that period, because I know I'm way more likely to follow through. I have more energy and I have more willpower at that point. So your priorities, your training, and the other things you want to get done, definitely get done during the day. Try and schedule them when you have the most energy. If you lose energy at night, then don't schedule your hardest thing at night, because you're not going to have the energy to do it. And even if you do get through it, you're not going to have the energy to do it well. It's going to not be quality, whatever you're doing. Okay, so that's 3 tips, guys. Set up your environment to avoid distractions. So if you have video games near you all the time, just make it harder to access. If you have junk food, get rid of it or make it harder to access. So set up your environment to help you follow through on your training and everything else. Second one is schedule it out. That's probably my favorite one from this and the biggest one. So schedule it out. You're much more likely, and it's proven that you're much more likely to follow through on something if you write it down. And finally is know when you have the most energy and do your most important stuff when you have the most energy. All right, guys, that'll do it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.